Hello everybody, welcome back to the Japan vlog. This is our part 2 vlog and we're going to jump right in. We went to TeamLab Borderless. It is the new TeamLab exhibit out in Tokyo. You're seeing that now. This is a really cool exhibit and I would like to do a video comparing both TeamLab Planet, I think is the first one, and then Borderless. We actually went to both. And just as a real quick recommendation, Borderless is way cooler. It's longer, you get way more what you pay for, and you can kind of explore on your own, which is pretty neat. The video today is going to take you through not only TeamLab in Tokyo, but also our trip to Kyoto, our Ryokan stay, and then our hotel that we go to after our Ryokan. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ambiance, and come check out Japan with us. We just got to the Ryokan. I'm going to take you guys on a tour of our room. This is a little entrance area, a little genkan with your slippers that you use to walk around the whole hotel. Where are our shoes, by the way? They took our shoes when we got here. That's right. They probably keep them up front. They don't want us to walk on anything with our shoes. But check this place out. This is so amazing. As you walk in, it's all tatami floor. Lauren's sitting at a floor level table. So this is where we get to hang out, and they'll come in while we go eat dinner and flip this and put our futons out. So we'll have two here where we can sleep. Got our own little shrine with some pottery in the corner. And this is our view. It's absolutely gorgeous. Full corner to this like Zen style garden. It is amazing. Got some yukata that we can wear when we go to the onsen. And over here, this is probably storage for the futons. Yeah, more bedding and stuff. This is what we will be sleeping on. Right here's their bathroom with the toilet and shower. Pretty standard, but if you go out here, this is what you really pay for in this place. You get your own private onsen, your own private bath. It's a hot water bath, natural spring water. And check out this view. Take a look at the mountains. Wraps around your own garden. Full privacy here. So in case you don't want to go to the public one, which there is a public one on the premises if you wanted to join that as well. But yeah, we got our own private bath. Pretty darn amazing. We have 6 o'clock dinner. It is just at 4 right now, so we're going to hang out for a little while and then go eat some food. We're having shabu shabu beef, so they're going to cook us some, it's like Wagyu beef style stuff. It's going to be so good. When we got here, oh, I didn't. They have a little tea set for us over here and a kettle and some water. I know it. It's really cute. When we got here, they sat us down and gave us some green tea and matcha. So this place is pretty incredible. What's it called? Soryo Ryokan? Serio? When we looked it up online, there wasn't really any reviews or any videos, so hopefully this will kind of give someone an example of what it would be like to stay here. I think our room was in the mid-tier, if I remember right. Mid to upper tier. Yeah, it was like $800, I think, per night. So a bit of a splurge, obviously, but we're only staying here one night, and the trek to the mountain is...
For 2 people, so you pay per person.
That's right. Yeah, so it was $800. You do pay per person, so that would be, roughly $400 per person. But we're staying here for one night, and the trek to get here was pretty awesome. You basically get dropped off about 10 minutes away or so, and you walk up the mountain path. All of these old houses and shops and things, and we actually stumbled upon a shrine right outside here while we were waiting to check in, and the shrine was awesome. It was so big. What do you know the name of that shrine?
I can look it up really quick, but we did get some clips so we can play.
Yeah, we do have some clips of that. We'll splice it in here as well, but Jiko-in Temple. Okay. Yeah, right here it was pretty massive as well. So you go in, the whole complex is very pretty. The main building, I think it was 700 yen a person to go through it. So it did cost a little bit, but no big deal. Walk through, it's very traditional as well. It felt like an old house, tatami mats, all the different rooms and floors, there's shrines everywhere. And you walk out into the garden, and the garden was just like this, but 100 times bigger. Had a bunch of different buildings and statues and monuments and everything where people would offer prayer or offer money or items to various gods or tributes or whatever. Super cool. Very, very cool. Perfect spot for this place because you could spend some time over there while you're waiting in your Ryokan or hanging out or whatever it's called.
It's actually this one.
Sanzen-in Temple.
There's about 4 temples right around this, so I couldn't even tell which one it was at first.
4 temples right surrounding this Ryokan, and pretty cool. I'm very excited to show you what we got from the temple.
Went through the Sanzen Temple Yusuin Garden. There's actually, like, within that garden, we actually did visit a handful of other.
Did we?
4 large temples, but there's like, I'm literally counting 1, 2, 3.
Snag some photos or videos with our phone, we may do that, but otherwise we'll just kind of hang out in the room and talk and then move on to our next adventure tomorrow. Tomorrow's back to Kyoto for the full day in Kyoto. It's about an hour walk plus bus plus train to Kyoto Central, so pretty easy to get here. The only complicated part was actually the Shinkansen was the complicated part, figuring out which line we were taking. But once you know, and our tickets weren't very specific, but once you know, it was pretty simple. You sit on it, it takes you here, you go super duper fast, and it's pretty cool.
I disagree. I think it was much more complicated, as a whole. The bus was simple in concept, but if you're just not familiar with taking buses places, it's just you have to be on top of it. So when we were on the bus, luckily this was the last stop, so it wouldn't have mattered. But we were watching everybody else, and they pressed a button when we were passing their stop so that he knew to stop.
Probably pretty common.
Probably is.
In places, where we're from, there's next to no public transport, so just.
I was watching my maps the whole time. And the walk up was pretty simple. You just have to use your maps. So as long as you have access to your maps, then you'll be fine.
Speaking of maps, I don't know what is everybody talking about that Google Maps is so good. Google Maps has failed us so many times here. Apple Maps has not let us down one time.
It did let us down today, unfortunately. We had to use Google Maps today because it couldn't find the Ryokan. Remember?
Well, that was only because the address to the Ryokan was in a Google Maps link, but the address to get here isn't on. It's not like a written address. So the only way that we could get here was clicking a link that was provided from this place, because it's not on the map, just any map. So it was like, this is where you go. But it took us to Google Maps, and that still sucked.
Yeah,
but
it just, I don't know, maybe we're doing something wrong. But whenever we start Google Maps, it doesn't keep up with where we currently are. So I'm constantly zooming in on the map to figure out where we are in the steps, and I'm reading the steps more than just glancing at it, because with Apple Maps, it's showing you the next step. So you already know what the next thing is, instead of having to scroll down and find it and make sure you're at the right step. But anyway,
you guys are
overall,
crazy.
Definitely doable. We're here.
Yeah, we made it for sure.
It's not it was crazy hard. It was just you have to be aware and read signs. When we went to catch the bus, our bus was not with the other buses. We had to cross the street, and so we had to read a sign to figure that out. Of course, that's what signs are for, but you just have to be observant.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. What did I want to talk about also? Oh yeah, the language barrier here was drastically more than Tokyo, and even just we didn't really talk to anybody in Kyoto yet, but yeah, in Tokyo you could communicate pretty easily. Most people have some level of English, and our base level of Japanese was good enough to kind of get by, so not much trouble there. Here, it's a lot more Japanese, but we did okay. I was able to kind of get us through answering questions. Guy did a lot of explaining. I understood maybe 25% of what he said, so I'll take that, and kind of just picked up, tidbits of information here and there, which is, obviously it's worked out. So I was able to ask questions. He was able to answer questions. He knew a little bit of English that was helpful too. So we kind of, did the cross communication. But yeah, it was pretty tough.
Popping in, Dylan did an amazing job. He has been practicing Japanese on his own through a couple different apps, and he can give you more information on that. As someone who hasn't been doing that, I had no idea what was going on. The gestures are really what I'm getting most of my communication from, and luckily, most of the time you can put 2 and 2 together with like what someone's asking you, if they're beckoning you, if they're pointing to something, if they're saying, put your shoes here, or whatever, you can figure that out. But in terms of actual language, I am deer in headlights. And Dylan is definitely like, they can tell by the look on my face that they need to talk to him and not me.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But the lady, when we walked in, she was trying to have us check in, and I said something to her in Japanese, and she was like, "Oh, you speak Japanese?" And I was like, "No, just a little bit, like not enough to have a full conversation, but enough to make this work." So. Cool. Very cool. Anything else before we shut it down?
Just really excited, and we'll get clips where we can.
This is our hotel in Kyoto. It's called the Emu Hotel. Super cool, very modern. Everybody here speaks pretty darn good English. We're about to stay our first night, but it's pretty sweet. Let's go inside. All right, in our room, let's check it out. It's not very big, as per most of the places that we've stayed so far, but here it is. You walk in the door, our luggage is right here. Come in, and this is the room. One bed. The bathroom sink actually is out here with the TV in the mirror. And the bathroom is in here. Toilet in one room, shower in the next. Similar to the first place, but not across the hall from each other, so pretty good space. Something that's pretty cool though is we actually shipped our bags here. So we were in Tokyo, and a couple days ago we sent these off because we're going to our Ryokan yesterday, and when we got here they were waiting for us in our room. So we just took a couple days worth of clothes, put them in our backpacks. It made traveling around from Tokyo to Kyoto significantly easier. Our Ryokan was like in the mountains, sort of, like up, not necessarily a mountain, but it was like in the hills, in the mountains. And we walked probably, I don't know, a quarter mile up the hill and stayed there. And it was like old windy paths. I'm sure footage has been shown already of the Ryokan, but having to do that with all of our luggage would have been a nightmare. So being able to ship it here, not even worry about it, was a huge help. We're going to do the same thing, ship it back to Tokyo, probably not tomorrow, but the day after, because it takes 2 days for it to get to Tokyo from Kyoto and vice versa. So ship our bags back to our last hotel over there, not even have to worry about it taken on the train, avoids taking it through the train station, just saves you a lot of headaches. So it's pretty late, just got done with dinner, and I think we're just going to hang out and maybe crash and go to bed.